Dear Dawn by Phyllis Chesler. As the so-called first female serial killer, you've made headlines, not for what has been done to you, but for what you've done. The summary of this book is Aileen Wuornos is a notorious serial killer, and she's known for her several male victims, murdering them. And in the book, Dear Dawn, we see Eileen's side of things, and it's basically her autobiography. The structure of this book is a little confusing. It has the dates and what happened on those days, and it's basically like Eileen's diary, but because of all the different point of views, I was getting a little bit confused on who was talking, and yeah. The first main character is Aileen. She's a notorious serial killer who killed 7 men, and what this book is about. The second main character is Dawn Botkins. Dawn is Eileen's childhood best friend, and in the book, Dawn asks a lot of questions towards Aileen and for a different perspective for Aileen. The book Dear Dawn is a correspondence between Aileen and Dawn. The plot of this book is Eileen's life, the murders, and her feelings, her point of view, and things of that nature. Why are they important? Her life was mainly abuse and abandonment. It reveals her resentment towards men and her involvement in the murders, and it gives the audience an understanding of Aileen and why she did the things she did. My personal connection is I also dislike men a lot, and obviously, of course, not enough to kill a man, but hating men is very understandable, especially in society today. Thankfully, I can't personally relate to her personal life experiences, but I know people who can relate to some of the things that happened in Eileen's life, and because I know these people, I can agree with Aileen in a way because of what she's been through. But murder is never the correct or best solution. But I think that if Aileen was given the help that she needed, she could have been saved. And she could have coped a totally different way. Because of the way she coped, it became a book, and now her whole life story is out for everyone to see, which is probably not what she wanted. My academic response is I believe this book was a little strange to read. I kept getting confused on who was talking because of the way it was structured, as I mentioned earlier. And I was also confused when Dawn started asking Aileen questions in Eileen's own autobiography. I liked the dates on the book because it helped create a timeline in my head of when everything happened. And this book was a little bit graphic and mature. It really got into the nitty-gritty, and it explained a lot of things that happened in Eileen's life that are very graphic, and how she killed the 7 men. My recommendations and final thoughts. I recommend people over the age of 15 read this book because of the gore things and the details that are given to us. I also feel like a warning of sexual assault and things of that nature should be mentioned, even though it is about a serial killer. Not all serial killers go through some of the things that Aileen went through, and I think it can be triggering, especially because it's not brought up in the beginning of the book, and especially if you don't know about Aileen in the first place and you're just now learning about her, and then you go in and read all this stuff and it's actually very, very bad. But overall, the book is really good. It shows what it's supposed to. It shows Aileen, her thoughts, her point of view, why she did the things she did, her thought process, and that's the point of the book. So it did its job, and I enjoyed reading it because I enjoyed learning about serial killers and the psychology behind it. And I really enjoyed learning why Eileen did the things she did. Because you don't really get to hear that when it comes to serial killers. Like Ted Bundy never admitted to what he did, but Eileen came forward. She said everything she did. She said why she did what she did, even though people really didn't believe her. She still gave us something. So that's the end of my book talk.